Today we are going to start the first chapter of biology, that is Introduction to Biology, in which we will study that what actually the biology is, what are its different branches, its career, and also that what are the processing taking place in the living organisms. The first thing, that bios, that means life, and the logos means study. So the word biology is originated from the two words bios and logos, in which we study about the living things. So to understand that what is happening in the nature, what is the nature of the animals, the plants, how they function, what are their structures, also the different human problems that are taking place, and how we can cure them, what sort of food is required for the human body, for the animals, and what sort of environment is good for the specific type of the plants or animals. So going further, there are three main divisions of biology, in which the first one is zoology. The word zoology is originated from the word zoo, and we all know that zoo is related to the animals. So the division of biology deals with the study of animal is called as the zoology. In case of the botany, which is the second division of biology, it is about the study of plants, that how plants function, how they grow, what are the processes take place in plants. These all things can be studied in botany. Then the third division is microbiology. Microbiology is what? In which the word micro is showing that it is something related to the microorganisms. So when we study about the microorganisms such as the bacteria, viruses, protozoans, these can be studied in a separate division, that is microbiology. Further, if we go, there are some more branches of biology. And the first one is morphology. Morphology is what? The branch that deals with the study of the form and structures of our living organisms. That what is the form and what is the structure of the living organism, it can be studied in the morphology. The other thing, in which we study about the internal structure of the organism, this can be studied in the anatomy. This shows that anatomy is actually the study of the internal structures of the organisms. The next one is histology. Histology is what? This is related to the tissues of animals and plants. So if we study the details of the tissues and of the animals and plants, it can be studied in a separate branch, that is histology. The next one is cell biology. The study of the structures and functions of the cells and the cell organelles, that a single cell contains a number of organelles. What is the function of each organelle, how it works, what is its role in the body, either it's the plants, animals, or humans. This all can be studied in a separate branch, that is called as the cell biology. Then the next branch of biology is physiology. Physiology is what? It is actually the study of the functions of different parts of the organism, like how the stomach works, how the liver works, how the kidney works. All the different parts of the living organisms is studied, about their functions can be studied in the physiology. In the next branch, that is genetics. Genetics is what? The word genetics, obviously it is derived from the word genes, and genes have the special role in the inheritance of the organisms, like how there is the transmission of characters takes place from the one generation to the other. From the parents to the offsprings, how the characters are being transferred, what are the things that are included in them. This whole can be studied in detail in a branch that is called as genetics. Then the next branch of biology is embryology. Embryology is actually the study of the development of an embryo to a new individual. Now, for example, if we sow a seed, the seed can grow and become a whole plant. Then how it happens that it is get converted into the form of the embryo, and then this embryo give rise to a new plant. This whole process can be studied in a branch called as embryology. The next branch of biology is taxonomy. Taxonomy, that is derived from the word taxa. Taxa means the naming of the organisms. So the naming and classification of organisms. There was a time when all the organisms are given the specific names, but these names were very common. For example, there are some names that can be given in a specific area of the same plant is different in the other areas, so it was difficult for the scientist to study them again and again. So they gave the specific names, some other specific names to the organisms, either the plants and the animals, that is being called as the scientific names. So this naming and classification of organisms into groups and the subgroups is studied in the taxonomy. After that, the next branch is paleontology. It is about the study of the fossils, these which are actually the remains of the extinct organisms, means those organisms which are not present now. For example, the dinosaurs, if we have to study about them, obviously we can study through their fossils. So the study of fossils is called as paleontology. We are living in a specific environment. We know that there is a specific climatic conditions, there is a specific soil, specific plants. So all this environment is important for the organisms, either for the plants or the animals or the humans. So the interaction between the organisms and their environment is being studied in the environmental biology. So all the details of that environment and the organism we can study them in the environmental biology. Next one is social biology. As we are living in a specific area, so there must be some social interaction with our people, with our environment, with the things around us. So in the same way, the social behavior of animals that make societies is being studied in the sociobiology. The next branch is parasitology. Parasitology is what that when we study about the parasites. Parasites are actually such organisms that take the food and the shelter from the living host, but obviously in the return they harm them. Instead of giving them some advantage, it is harming the host. So such organisms are called as parasites, and the study of those parasites is studied in the branch called as parasitology. After that, the next branch is biotechnology. Biotechnology is a very vast branch, and it is actually the practical application of living organism to make substances for the welfare of the mankind. For example, we are using like we are preparing the insulin from the bacteria for the diabetic patients. It is actually the one of the achievement of biotechnology. So there are a lot of the other things that are making, like in the case of the plants, we are preparing different varieties of a single plant. This can also be studied in the biology. Like, so if we are creating something, the practical application of the living organisms for the welfare of the mankind is called as biotechnology. Immunology. It is actually the immune system of the body that defends the body against the invading microbes. Like for example, some bacteria or viruses attack on us, our body start producing some antibodies, and as a result what happen that it starts defending against that microbe. So this whole process, that the internal defense mechanism of the human body is studied in the immunology. Then the next branch of biology is entomology. Entomology is about the study, the detailed study of the insects. That is called as entomology. The next one is pharmacology. Pharmacology is the study of the drugs and their effects in the system of human body. Drugs means medicines. Like what sort of medicines are good for the specific disease, what are the side effects of that specific medicine, how we have to take them, what are the precautionary measures we have to take, all the things, and how they can be prepared. So all these things can be studied in the branch called as pharmacology. This is all about the branches of biology, and in the next lesson we will talk about the relationship of biology with other sciences.